we have with us Arnab. He's a senior member of PMI, been with PMI for many years, and he has vast experience, more than a decade, 16 years working for multinational companies in Australia like Optus, IBM, and AT&T. He has all the skills in project management and program management for many years. A very good chap. He is very good prize for anything related to project management. So I would like to please give a warm welcome to Arnab.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it took away the mic. Okay. So, can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Good evening, everyone. Before I start, just want to understand, it's good to see that everyone's got a book. Almost everyone's got the book. How many of you read books? How many of you are a book person? Wow, incredible. I just prepared a punchline based on less count. You just killed it. So most of you are book readers. Normally, generally, people don't read books. But of course, this is PMI. The count is expected to be up. Let's use it. Let us look at a world where science and technology intertwine, shaping the very fabric of our existence. Today, we'll embark on a journey to explore how a scientific mindset can fuel technological innovation and transform our future. As we gather here today, let us reflect on the incredible strides we have made in the world of technology and how a scientific approach has led us all here to these achievements. Once again, good evening everyone, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's really a privilege to stand before such a diverse audience comprising mostly project and program managers. If not less, I guess 60-70% of us here are project managers, program managers. But I have attended these sessions before. I know there are consultants in the group. There are technology innovators. I have met with startup founders, and today we have got students from the quantum mechanics and astrophysics department. So much diversity. Now, this diversity is not just in your roles. This diversity is also cultural. I'm drifting from the main topic a bit, but I'll quickly come back to it. I cannot proceed without appreciating PMI for including inclusiveness in its core cultural value system. Look at me, I'm not from here, but I'm still utilizing the chance of holding this platform, talking about science and technology, writing a book, educating people, and it cannot be a one-person strive. It has to be the environment that enables and creates these opportunities. And one such organization is PMI. To be a global organization, you have to implement inclusiveness in its core cultural value. So before we proceed, can I please request each and everyone to make some noise for PMI? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, I want to discuss the essential relationship between technological innovation and science, emphasizing the significance of a scientific mindset in driving progress and addressing ethical considerations. Now, first thing first, what is the main difference between a scientific invention and a technological innovation? Why are we discussing science and technology together? How does it matter to us? Well, science, as you all know, is a systematic study of the natural world. It aims at explaining phenomena, discover fundamental principles through observation, experimentation, and analysis. Its main goal is to expand knowledge and to provide explanations for the workings of the world. Whereas technology, on the other hand, is all about practical applications of the very scientific knowledge through solving problems, improving processes, and creating useful products and services. Where science seeks understanding, technology focuses on creating useful applications and tangible outcomes. There is another significant distinction between science and technology on a more fundamental level. Science operates in a different setting. Science looks at the world from a very fundamental point of view, often coming up with raw discoveries. You have that eureka moment in science. Whereas in technology, it's mostly market driven or purpose driven. You're always trying to fix a problem, fix a challenge or an issue in the market. So to say, a technologist is aware most of the time what he's creating or designing. Someone in a previous PMI session mentioned a very beautiful thing. I think it was Michael, that a scientific invention is an idea, whereas a technological innovation is a profitable idea. Now, when we refer to profit or a profitable idea, we generally refer to the financial success of the organization, how much revenue the company is generating. Now, here's the point. The crucial question here is how much ethical, moral, philosophical, and human mental health aspect is taken into account when designing future products. It appears very minimum. Well, the business probably is excelling and thriving and generating revenue, but how much of these value systems are incorporated in the new products appears very less. What we are doing basically, we are building our new products on top of an existing old product, fixing the gap and issues. We are sort of refining our product. Now, and it also appears that we are trying to fix our issues just on the surface, often ignoring the core issues that lies underneath the surface. It is time that we start to redefine the concept of a profitable idea. Now, I probably would take this discussion in a different way if it was a different session. Normally in my other talks, I talk a lot about the roots of philosophy and how we can design our moral and ethical code of conduct that fits well within our products. But today I'm not going to bore you. Today I'm a big science fan, so I'm going to show you some amazing scientific discoveries and I'm going to link it back to technology, the technology that we use today, sort of trying to create a sense of spark in you that will align, or hopefully will align, with the mindset that I'm talking about. Now, I will start with the social media platforms. I'll explain a few companies that has not taken ethics and morality into the account while designing the products. And of course, I don't need to talk about these companies, you all are aware of it. But still, just 30 seconds on Facebook. Facebook, founded by Mark Zuckerberg in 2004, revolutionized social networking by connecting billions of people worldwide. It resolved the market issue of facilitating communication. But Facebook has faced major criticism when it came to its data handling and data privacy issues. Facebook has been accused of spreading misinformation, injecting negative behavior, fostering negative mental health issues, also fostering comparison and depression. This is just not wrong, this is, I would say, reprehensible. Uber. Everyone uses Uber. I came by Uber tonight. Uber launched in 2010, disrupted the traditional taxi industry by providing affordable and convenient ride-hailing service through a mobile app. It resolved the market issue of transportation accessibility. But despite its success, Uber has been accused of how they use their driver policy. There's a special class of driver called independent contractors. They don't have employee policies. They don't have the normal employee benefits and driver's protection. Uber is also accused of surge pricing practices, controversial business tactics, and many other ethical considerations. So the point I'm trying to make here is, with a shift in mindset, more specifically scientific mindset, we can have a solution. Now from here, I will take a different route, unconventional route. I want to show you some scientific discoveries that links back to our products. So, we're talking about Uber. Now this is the question for you, to the audience. Can anyone in the audience, or just raise your hands if you know the answer, what is the core technology behind Uber? It's an easy question. Without which Uber would be impossible. What is the core technology behind Uber? I mean, don't prompt, just raise your hands. You all know the answer. Okay? All right. So, I see you raising your hand. So, your name please? Nicholas. Nicholas, what do you think is the core technology?
The phone.
Sorry?
The phone. The phone.
The phone. Okay. All right. Someone else raised their hand. You? Yeah?
GPS.
Huh? GPS, yeah. It is GPS. I'm talking about the technology. Mobile, of course, is a technology, but it's in a very broader context. But GPS is a technology that without which Uber would be impossible. Now, let me ask you this question. I was expecting more count in sort of hands, but what are the two core scientific theories without which GPS would be impossible? Of course, there's a student from the quantum mechanics, he's only raised his hand, but no, you are, okay. So, of course, see, the point I'm trying to make here is, we know technological terms more than science. Even though science and technology are so interconnected, we cannot live without each other. What are the two scientific theories? Don't explain the theory, otherwise you'll kill my talk. Just give me the name of the theories. That is right, yeah. So we have got special theory and general theory of relativity. I hope I'm not going to bore you with that, but let me try to explain these theories to you. Special theory of relativity was invented by Albert Einstein in 1905. With that, he showed that time slows down for objects moving at high speed, of course relative to a static observer. In the general theory of relativity, which is at 1915, the same guy, Albert Einstein, showed time slows down for objects in presence of a massive body, let's say Earth. How does that relate to our GPS system? We have an onboard clock, it's called atomic clock in the GPS. These satellites are placed in the middle Earth orbit. We have onboard clock in the GPS that is clicking time slowly because it is moving at a very high speed. And it is also taking time quickly because it is further away from a massive body, which is Earth. Now you might say that, this will cancel each other, but that's not the case because the numerical values are different, so we have a delta. And that delta is factored into our GPS system. So we have the precision. You can see the drivers arriving at a certain time at a certain location. This is only possible because of these theories that are invented more than 100 years back. But are our theories complete? This is me. I have a YouTube channel explaining quantum mechanics and general theory of relativity. I'm trying to explain the theory of everything. We don't have a theory of everything. I'm trying to explain quantum gravity that will one day fuse the theories of the small, or quantum mechanics, the theories of the atoms and molecules, with the theories of the huge, that is us, or the planets, galaxies, or even the universe. When you try to fuse these two theories, all hell breaks loose. We don't have a theory of everything. Quantum gravity is an active area of research. What I'm trying to point out here is we do have inconsistencies in our scientific theories, and that is not stopping us to create amazing products. Recently, India's ISRO launched a constellation of 7 satellites, been put into orbit. They named it NAVIC, Indian Constellation of Navigation System, which is said to be more powerful than the GPS system. NAVIC uses dual band frequency with an accuracy level of just 10 meters or even less. GPS, which is launched by, of course, by a bunch of satellites launched by USA, uses a single band frequency with an accuracy level of 20 meters roughly. There's a new technology coming up, Super GPS. You can look that up. Super GPS is likely to remove the traditional way how we operate navigation system, and it's going to give us an accuracy level of 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters, this much. It blows my mind. Again, the point I'm trying to make here is we're improving in sophisticating our products, whereas our scientific theories remain incomplete. Of course, we are refining it, remodeling it, but there is a connection, and only then it is happening. All right, I'll move to my next example. Is it so far boring? Is it good? All right? Okay. Can you believe I'm going to explain superposition and entanglement? This is the core of quantum mechanics. Yeah, people are already laughing. But don't worry, I will make it very simple, very laymanish. Now, superposition and entanglement in quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is a department, is a science which is completely counterintuitive. We don't understand quantum mechanics. I mean, you intuitively cannot understand quantum mechanics. It's a great scientist, Richard Feynman, once said, if you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics, because that doesn't fit into our intuition. But we have quantum computers. Companies, pioneering companies such as IBM, and then Google, Microsoft, Intel, and others have designed and are designing quantum computers. Quantum computers are the future. Now, you would ask me how quantum computer works. If you look at the superposition theory, in our classical computers, we have zeros and ones, right? If you studied electronics, you would know a flip-flop circuit, right? We have either a zero state or a one state. But in quantum computers, we have qubits or quantum bits. So quantum bits are always in a sort of superposition state. They can exist simultaneously. And you can pick any value between 0 and 1. Imagine the immense computational possibilities with a quantum computer. Entanglement. Our classical computer uses 0 and 1 state. So you either have a 0 or have a 1. There is no interconnectivity. Obviously, provided you don't have any logical gates connected operationally. If you make any state change in 0, that doesn't affect the 1 and vice versa. But in quantum computers, qubits are entangled. They are not even connected, they're entangled. You separate these particles as far as, let's say, you keep one particle in the Milky Way galaxy and the other one in the nearest galaxy, which is Andromeda, which is 2.5 million light years away. And they connect instantly. The connections are instantaneous. Just for the context, information transfer happens in the universe at the rate of 300,000 kilometers per second. That is the rate by which cause and effect happens in the universe. That's the maximum limit you can achieve. That is called the speed limit of the universe. It's called causality. In Einstein's famous equation, E = mc squared, the c is the causality. Photon particles or light achieves that speed, so we know that speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. Now, even with that amazing speed, light takes 3.5 million years to reach Andromeda. These two entangled particles are connected instantly, sharing information instantly. Now, there is a quantum mechanics student sitting there, I know. He would argue with me that it's not information transfer, something is happening in the electromagnetic field. I'm not getting technical here, but something is definitely happening which we don't understand, right? So again, the same point. Even though we have inconsistencies and our limited understanding, we still have quantum computer. All right, another topic which fascinates me is the topic of the mind, the self, free will, and consciousness. This is another snapshot from my video, my YouTube channel, where I'm talking about why we are conscious. Right? I've read a lot of books, but I'll tell you honestly one thing. Even though I have studied and read a lot about consciousness, I can honestly tell you, we don't understand consciousness to any capacity, I would say. We do have that notion or the theory of the hard problem of consciousness, by which it states that we cannot understand why we feel like the identical self. Why do we have a subjective experience? Even though these signs are less explored and still lies in the field of philosophy, still scientists in the Belgium University hospitals have successfully cured 1,000+ patients, conducting brain operations. They've done 1,000+ successful brain surgery on patients without giving them general anesthesia. And they achieved it using hypnosis. Hypnosis is not magic, it's science. So hypnosis takes into account the neural activities that happens at the subconscious level. And 100% success rate. And what we understand about the mind, very less. I am excited about this fascinating thing, so I'm making videos. But how much do I understand? We don't understand it. Now, again, the same thing. We have incompleteness in our theories, and we have amazing products. This is my last slide in terms of giving you examples. Now, everyone talks about AI, right? Any session, any forum you attend, everyone is talking about AI. So I thought, let me also put a slide. But then, I'm not an AI expert. Why I put this slide is because it fits well into this context. We have introduced a lot of AI systems in the market without considering a lot of moral and ethical checks. Now again, this question is to you. Anyone in the audience, can anyone tell me one big problem that you think that AI can cause and that can become worse with time? If you are not considering ethics and morality, if you are not fixing our ethical and moral checks, what one problem AI can cause? Any example that can only become worse in the future? Yes, please.
I'm going to draw an analogy from.
Sure. You want to take the mic?
I'm going to draw an analogy from different perspective. All of us, most of us are talking about the movie Oppenheimer. Went to the same argument as we are going into AI now. So the fact is, the scientists who went about and created the bomb, which was a race at that time, a race between who gets it first. Is it going to be the Germans, Nazi, or is it going to be the Americans, or the Russians? But eventually, the Manhattan Project came about, and they got the first, and they got it. The same scientists went about to deceive the same group of people. So Oppenheimer, he was discredited. So we are seeing the same thing happening to the field of AI. AI is not new. It's been there since the 50s. I studied AI in the 90s. I was studying more. Yes. But then, now we are getting into a race that no one really understands and could decide.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great answer. Anyone else wants to say something about what do you think is a problem with our AI? Any example that AI can cause difficulties and that's only going to get bitter and bitter?
It'll replace white-collar jobs.
Here's the mic.
It will replace white-collar jobs.
That's an assumption, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Nicholas. I believe, oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, please go on.
Scam or the fraudulent activities, like for example, we can use AI to do like scanning, fraudulent activities. But a lot of blockchains and so much stuff, people losing their money. So I could think of this.
Great. Yes,
Although
that's
the
it.
AI is benefiting us, this is the it feels more, I guess, regulations.
You're talking about the detection problem. You cannot identify between reality and AI systems. Yes. And that's an amazing answer. Basically, you basically killed it. Now, I literally mean it. You killed my talk because that's what I was going to talk. Now, I have nothing else to talk. But just to add on top of what you said, AI systems are increasingly becoming more and more sophisticated. The lines between reality and artificial construct are getting blurred, right? There are research in place, by the way. They are working on AI detection algorithm, right? But the problem is technology cannot solve it in isolation. There have to be communities and groups from technology, from ethical guidelines, from education to come together and address this super critical issue. Now, I will probably end it here with a final thought. See, you can be a scientist or a technologist or a technology company or even a product owner or a project manager, right? The appeal is to understand the science behind technology. The appeal is to look closer to the very product, into your very products and technologies that you work with. It's a competitive age. if you want to be in the game for a long time, only end-to-end view is not going to be sufficient. You need to look at it from a 360 dimensional view. It's only then you see the incompleteness that lies underneath the surface. When you look closely into the incomplete scientific theories associated to the very products and technology that you work with, you can see the solutions to the problem that you face today. The argument here is having a scientific mindset leads you to prioritize things and take into account the ethical, moral, philosophical, and human mental health aspects into our designs. Now, what does having a scientific mindset even mean? It means adopting a mindset that delves deeper into the fundamentals of things and explores the raw aspects of reality. By connecting with the roots and the essence of nature, you identify the factors essential for any creation. Nature remains truthful. It never lies. It never misleads you. By integrating ethical, moral, philosophical, and human mental health aspects into our designs, we create products that are just not successful in the market, but also beneficial to the society in the long run. Here's to sustainability. Thank you.
Thanks, Arnab. That's amazing insight. I'm pretty sure that maybe you have some questions, so if you have any, please raise your hand. I'll come up to you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
I just want to understand a scientific mindset. How does it relate to a project management or program management job? A person who's doing this kind of role, how does it impact us and what benefits of having this?
Sure, that's a very good question. What was your name again, please? Himadri. Thanks for asking the question. So what you're asking is, we all are from the IT or project and program management domain. How does it matter if we study or not study science? Well, when you see, as I explained in the beginning, science actually gives us a very fundamental, raw perspective at looking into things. And when you look at from a scientific angle, you tend to be less judgmental in the first place, less biased. You just look at the issue the way it is. And be it project management, the complexity of projects that involves people. Without understanding psychology behind anyone's behavior, you're making a very big, risky step ahead, I would say. Because every day you meet and talk to people, isn't it? It is not project management, trust me, it is people. Everyone here are different. Everyone are different individuals. And how we communicate to people and how quickly we understand people will determine how well you will connect with them and get your work done. Project management involves a lot of follow-ups and coordination. With who? With people. I think the matter of psychology, that science will come into picture. Yeah. I think I have answered your question. You're not happy? You're not happy? Somewhat, yeah?
More or less, yes.
See, the very product that we work with, we don't understand the history behind the product. And therefore we are like, yeah, let me go to office and do my job and come back. But when you understand the product from a very historical view, and you go down to its science, you are totally involved. You're always inspired to go to work. Thank you.
Hi, this is Harish here. Just to follow up to Himadri's question. Can you just give an instance on, because we've been on the project management, the program management, just an instance on a business problem, like how we can actually relate to a scientific mindset? Because I'm just trying to think now. I've been in this room trying to think, but I wanted you to get that. For example, maybe in my case, though I've been in many projects which I've handled, but think about a project, maybe it's a content migration system, management system migration. So these are some of the typical application migration or a database migration. There's those kinds of projects. But still I'm trying to relate now, trying to apply your techniques, what I could think about, right, going back to the scientific approach. So from your instance, maybe that would give some kind of a touch point. Still I'm not able to get that complete from Himadri's question, right? So would you be able to get something on one incident? Yeah, thank you.
See, I can only give you analogy because every problem is different. Every problem is different. If you're looking at this glass, you're basically looking at the glass from your angle. You're missing this side and all the other sides. Even though it is transparent, you don't know how it looks from this side. Well, this is identical, very bad example, but still, what I'm trying to say here is, let's say this. You don't know how it looks from this side and this side, right? And when we sit down with your engineers, your project teams, and your customers, they have got different mindsets. How would you take an action based on a limited data, right? Your approach, if not logical, science is logic. Your approach, if not logical, that is number one. That's going to be a very hard stop for you. Number two is, well, how much you know about the product. We all are mostly from IT. How much you know about a router? How much you know about a server? You know only from a technology point of view. Now I'm talking to an engineer. Does he understand the background science behind his technology? That will actually help him to get more involvement. Now, when I say science, I mean the mindset. I'm not asking you to really go back and get a MS degree in science. Right? You cannot do that. You have a BTech or masters in any technology, that's it. But I'm trying to focus more on the mindset side. I'm trying to understand, if you're working on a certain product, do you understand the product very much? Or you're just, running away from it just to finish another project? Why not take a look at the project from all angles? When you have a 360-degree view, you are the champion. And what's bad in having a scientific mindset? Science is logical. The reason that you can ask this question to me is because you have some sort of logic behind it, isn't it? And you must have formed that logic in your mind. But do you understand how it operates, how it functions from the mind level? No. So you probably cannot connect better with people if you don't have a scientific mindset. Now, again, I'm saying, scientific mindset is not just one thing you have to have. There are other things as well. I'm here only emphasizing on the scientific mindset because we are in the technology domain and science and technology are so interconnected. This is especially to the startup founders and innovators who are working to come up with new products. Where are they getting these ideas from? If you look back into the history of the product, you go and look at the incompleteness of the scientific theories, you get ideas. Thank you. It's a debate, I know, it's not a question. Sure. No, you know what, the subjects related to mindset is a subjective topic. And I understand the question that you're asking is not an objective question, it is a subjective question. And it will form a debate more than a question answer. But we can always talk in the networking when we network. Yeah, but thanks for asking the question. Yeah.
First of all, thank you, Arnab. It was a fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I got an unpractical question.
Can you speak up a little bit?
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I got a hypothetical question. As you correctly said, technological innovation spreading at a nice rate. At the same time, the way that we go about making laws. Someone pointed out that AI is going to replace white collar job, right? And the way that we go about, in the olden days, they are mainly to case laws. And you will see as the technology innovation is spreading like a rapid fire. We are years behind when it comes to addressing some of the social, moral, ethical issues there. And what would be, in your opinion, the solution to address this policy?
Well, see, if I was a famous person, I would have stopped answering this question because I am nobody. Let me answer this. Let's call off all your AI systems that you have introduced in the market. Talk to OpenAI, ask them to stop all the AI services and discuss and fix your ethical codes and then relaunch your product. Why launch something which is incomplete and which is posing so much danger? That would be my take, right? I'm saying OpenAI should do it, but there has to be some sort of approach to OpenAI to, in fact, I have heard a company in Germany have done some sort of similar thing. I was reading an article, a AI company in Germany has actually called off a lot of its end user facing products that are free of use, right? So that they can sort things out. This may sound non-economical or non-profitable, but this is going to only help in the long run. We are talking about the human society in the long run. Do you think today's companies are going to be sustaining for a long time without considering these factors? Today's companies, if they only look for revenue, they're going to go down in 10-15 years. This is just not me making things up. I've read it, right? Sensed it, felt it, experienced it. There are friends of mine started business only thinking of making money. The only thing they faced is loss. What is your idea of the company? If it is only money, you will go down. Especially in this age where people are so intelligent, people know how to question, people are aware. You cannot just think about, one-dimensionally. I hope I answered the question. Thank you.
Two-part question actually. So first and foremost, which is your favorite Terminator movie? There's only one correct answer, to be honest.
First one.
First one?
Yeah, I liked it.
I would have thought the judgment day. So my second question in relation to, I guess, having that scientific mindset. First and foremost, what techniques and strategies would you bestow upon people, or in this case, in a situation of having a project team, to encapsulate a scientific mindset, and how would you sustain that and embrace it?
Great question. Now, if I want to be very, very straightforward in answering this question, because I have been talking the same thing for a long time, I would say find interest in reading science articles. We all have that habit of reading technology articles. Why not science articles? Right? So you all read books. You all pick up books of economy, business. Why not science book? Right? I think the practice, now you would say, why would I pick up a science book? How would it benefit me? I'm not asking you to pick up any science book. I'm asking you to choose your science. Right? You have love for one technology. Why don't you go and check the science behind it? Right? You would be more interested in the same technology that you work with. It makes logical sense, isn't it? I think that's one of the ways you can do it. Otherwise, other ways are go to forums and talk about it and make people aware of it. As I said, it's subjectivity, right? Writing books, going to forums, talking about it, inspiring that sense of spark in people, right? I also talk about things like this in different forums, and out of 100 I get one person who understands it, and that's a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnab.
Thank you.
once everyone here gets a book for Arnab's new, you can pick it up, and if you're lucky enough, you get it signed. So please give a warm applause for Arnab.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please present the certificate of appreciation.
No?
Great big thank you for
Thank you very
making your
much.
time to come here.
Sure.
We've been asking Arnab to come and join us and be a speaker for this event. So thank you.
Thank you
so
very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you also-
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, I would say. Thank you.
I would also request everyone to please gather around at the back near the door for a group picture, and then we can socialize after that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.